What's going on, my friends, and welcome to this edition of Off Base. It's your girl, LG Red, Lauren Gardner, alongside Xavier Scruggs. Another great week in this amazing sport. We're getting closer to the halfway mark. Hard to believe.
It's nuts. It really is. I'm looking at that City Connect Rockies shirt. Okay.
If you're listening on the podcast, yes, I am rocking the Colorado Rockies, my hometown team,
Yep.
City Connect. I wore it earlier this season, but I just felt compelled because that is what we're moving the needle with to start off the show.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, it only makes sense because, well, the campaign is over here for 2025, and there were 8 teams that unveiled their new connects this season. I thought it went so well, in my opinion. Giants, Rockies. Oh, here we'll start with the D-backs. I love the purple. Our own Sierra Santos, by the way, was like part of the video to unveil those, and she nailed it. Miami looked incredible. Colorado, you have the homage to the Green Monster with the Boston Red Sox. Oh, how about these ones?
Sweet blue.
So nice, yeah. Blue for Nationals, and then of course Astros look sick. A little throwback there for the Chicago White Sox. Giants kind of throwing in a little pop of color as well. So yeah, I think top to bottom, every single one of them looked really good. But it got us to thinking, what was your favorite?
Yeah. Serpientes. Give me
I
a D-backs one
come
right
bearing
there.
gifts. I'm not going to be the only one rocking
because
City
it's
Connect
hard. It's hard to do purple well.
You're not wrong.
With jerseys, it has to be the right tone. But also, like, the S is so good with the snake, too. The guys do such a good job of being able to accessorize the cleats with it, with
all the
gloves,
gear.
all that stuff. That's what I love, is like it gives you other colors to work with. When I was playing, I was like, give me as many colors as possible,
That's a
right?
really
And it was
good
kind of
point.
shunned on back then. But now it's like, yo, bring as many colors into the fold and make them bright. Like, this teal right here is clean,
It's nice, it pops.
alongside this purple, man. I like this a lot.
Yeah, I think you have to hold it up a little bit higher.
And the good thing is there's so many more features now that you see on the City Connect jersey, right? There's always something that's hidden and
They have
whatnot.
like those little Easter eggs that,
Yes.
just make it so much fun to like kind of explore and look at. I love the color scheme. Of course, Colorado Rockies, like I said, my hometown team. They have the Colorado Sunset/Sunrise featured there, in my opinion, one of the best in all the land. But you know what? I was a kid in the 90s and the early aughts, and we all know this is going to be a fun debate to have here on a baseball podcast, but Michael Jordan was the GOAT.
Yes.
Let's talk about those jerseys.
Still the GOAT.
Yeah. Okay, so you agree with me. I don't know. Some people think it's LeBron, so who knows? But here we go. We're going with the Southsiders. I just love that it's a throwback to the like iconic Chicago Bulls.
Yep.
The pinstripes. It looks so good. So kudos to Chicago White Sox.
And I think somebody I remember last year, like that was one of the things when their original one came out, which was great too.
Oh yeah.
People were like, man, it'd be cool to incorporate the Chicago Bulls type of vibe into it, and next thing you know, there it goes.
We're on it.
And I think because everybody's not just from Chicago, but everybody, like you said, who grew up watching Jordan do his thing, watching the Bulls win the championships, it's like they're just drawn to that color and to that scheme. And I think it looks good even on the baseball
It's a perfect crossover. So we put it out there on social to all of our amazing viewers and followers on MLB Network to ask what their ideas are for future City Connects. Because, again, this is a great campaign.
Yeah.
It never ends, which is great because there's always something new and exciting to take a look at. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the suggestions from our followers. I love this one. Orioles update to have theirs say Charm City or Birdland.
Oh, yeah.
Charm City, great nickname. So is Birdland. I would do Charm City in purple.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about purple, but I just kind of Baltimore Ravens tie in there. See something with the Mets involving the Big Apple on their uniforms.
Oh, that would be cool.
It comes up whenever they hit a home run.
Yeah.
It just seems like that's low-hanging fruit.
That's something that could be another one of those Easter egg. Did you just? You did the dad joke. You had to.
A future mom.
You can't stop yourself.
I can't help it. I really can't. Speaking here for Georgia's the
So
Peach
corny.
State. It's so bad. It's so bad. And somebody has to stop me, and I don't know if it's going to be you. What about a peach-colored alternate for the Bravos?
I like that a lot.
Kind of like Rockford Peaches type League of Their Own situation.
Peach is not an easy one, too. Like, you don't think Peach, you don't immediately think sports uniform. So that one would definitely pop. You just got to do it the right way. Like
Yeah, you
when
have
the
to tread
Padres
carefully.
original one came out, I was like, yo, we're not used to these colors, but they made it pop the right way to where it looks
I thought it was a
very
little extra
good.
at first, and now I love it. And I love that like a lot of teams are following suit. Dallas
Yeah.
Cowboys, ooh, with the Rangers. Oh, I love this.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Kind of see
Cowboys,
stars
iconic
on
franchise.
Their,
They
those
share
color
the same
schemes.
parking lot, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone that looked at the Bulls one going into the White Sox is going to think about different team from a different sport going into baseball.
So many great crossover opportunities. So it's such a fun campaign. We're so
Yeah.
pumped that it's wrapped up. I'm so pumped.
They shouldn't
to be
have left
rocking
this year
to be
because
rocking this.
your
He
boy
is taking
going
that
to be
home.
taking the D-backs hat to the crib.
So you see the QR code.
Arizona born in the middle, too.
Oh, see, again, the little Easter
I didn't even
eggs
see
that
that.
are just planted. To collect your newest City Connect gear, visit MLBshop.com or scan the QR code that you see on your screen. Oh, that looks good.
That looks good with the black, too.
Actually, you know what? You can pull off purple. Well done, X.
Thank you.
When we come back here on Off Base, Harper, Kershaw, Trout, some greats, all on the Hall of Fame highway. When we come back, we'll debate some other names well on their way when Off Base returns. Well, buckle up, X, because we are going full speed ahead here on the Hall of Fame highway. You see these guys, Freddie Freeman, Salvador Perez, and Jacob deGrom. You think that's how they all roll in those exact outfits?
I mean, the bodies, the heads on the bodies.
It's so
so
good.
funny.
Again, if you're listening on the podcast, we basically had those three like packed into one bench seat on a VW bus and like
And
very
heads did not
comfortable
match
outfits.
the bodies.
That is very true. They did not look like elite athletes, which these three are. In some people's opinion, well on their way to the Hall of Fame. Let's start with one Frederick Freeman.
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman. Is he in your mind?
Well, when I look at all three of them, right, we had Salvi on there and Jacob deGrom. This one is the shoe-in. He is well on his way, Hall of Fame highway. Me and you were talking even during the break, and it's just crazy to think that this guy is still, seems like he's in the midst of his prime,
Right?
even what he's doing this season. And we almost take it for granted, right? The numbers that he's put together. You think about some of these numbers, 350-plus home runs, MVP, World Series MVP. All these guys are
some crazy
in the Hall of
company.
Fame, right? You think about all
Robinson,
of them.
Bench, Jackson.
Yes.
Wow, yeah, that's impressive.
Just all-time greats that will always go down as people we talk about. Freddie Freeman will be the exact same. And one of the reasons why, because I talked to him last All-Star, and he just talked about, like, his routine is something that he's never changed.
Wow.
And, like, I remember like trying to change my routine every few days, right? Like
this
trying to
doesn't
find
work,
something.
let's try this.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he's just stuck with, and I think that's an example of straight consistency when you think about some of the best hitters that have done it.
When I think about that great routine, I always think of Ron Washington and what he established there with that Braves culture. And it's almost hard to believe that Freddie spent so much time in Atlanta because of what he's already done in LA and the Dodgers, and cemented himself as one of the greats with that organization. Obviously, Wash now manager of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Yeah.
But I think he established so much of that, and I'm not saying I didn't talk to Freddie about it. I'm not going to give Wash credit, but you're right. It is amazing that the consistency over time has paid off. But again, I can't imagine.
He's still doing Wash's drills too.
Yeah, you're right. But I can't imagine, and so is Charlie, his son.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine being at that point in your career and just almost knowing in the back of your mind that you're already a lock
Right.
and you have so far to go and so many things to accomplish. Okay, so we have our shoe-in and one Freddie Freeman. Let's move on because this one might raise some questions.
Yeah.
But we're talking Jacob deGrom, and, you know, he already has 2 Cy Youngs under his belt. Those came back in 2018-19 with the Mets. Does he need that third one in order to get in? Because we know some of these players that have the bigger sample size, the body of work. deGrom has spent a lot of his career injured, but when he's on, this guy could very well be the best we've ever seen.
Yes, not a lot of wins compared to most guys that we see in the Hall of Fame when it comes to starting pitching. You know, in his 12th season, but he's already had a couple of seasons where he's only had a handful of starts. Just when you talk about the body of work, maybe not the longevity quite there yet, But what's interesting is we're having this conversation because he's back doing the Jacob deGrom things we saw him doing when he had long hair with the Mets and when I had to face him.
Did you think that was
not fair?
What was he like to face?
The pinpoint accuracy was some of the hardest velocity. It was just so hard to see it. You felt like you saw it out of him, but then it jumped on you so quick.
Wow.
Like the reaction time. And we talk about balls that seem like they have extra giddy up. That's what his has, but it's with pinpoint accuracy, slider, devastating. And now we're starting to see some of those same things. So that's why we're even having this conversation for people that are like, wait a minute, Jacob deGrom, Hall of Fame? Yeah, if he does one more Cy Young, we might be talking about him really in the Hall of Fame before his career is done.
Wow. I mean, did you think going into the season it was possible to see deGrom back in like true form?
I'll be real, I doubted it.
I did too.
Yeah.
It's a pleasant surprise as a baseball
Because you think about you giving $185 million for 5 years, the first 2 years have been a wash.
Yeah.
And then now he's come out doing this. Like, come on.
He'll turn 37 this year, and yeah, if he gets that third title under his belt, we'll see if he is a shoo-in. Okay, let's move over to another bubble guy here, Salvador Perez, man. This guy is so solid. Just turned 35 earlier this year. Feels like maybe 55 at some points because he's just, it feels like he's been doing this for so long. He's played in so many All-Star games.
Yeah.
He's won a World Series MVP back in 2015 and the only catcher in the last 30-plus years to win World Series MVP, which is so impressive. Holds single-season record for most home runs among catchers with 48. I mean, talking to the guy, you can just tell, like, he just feels like he's just a bundle of wisdom. Like,
yeah.
I can't say enough good things about this guy.
Power and defense, it's hard to find in the catcher position. And
Yeah.
he's done it, obviously, the World Series. Obviously, there's opportunity to possibly win another one with the Royals. The power will still be in play. This one is going to be a little tougher, right? Like, deGrom, we know 3 Cy Youngs, it's hard to compete with. But there's been a lot of good catchers in Major League Baseball, and it's going to be hard to get to the Hall of Fame. But we cannot knock what this man has done and what he's still continuing to do, even playing a different position as well.
That's so true. Yeah, he's still playing at an elite level. It's amazing that he's been able to be malleable in this sport, and I think that speaks to just his ability not only as an athlete but as a team player. 9-time All-Star, also won the Roberto Clemente Award. Do you think that could factor in?
I mean, when we think about a lot of that morality stuff too, is still in factor when we talk about the Hall of Fame. Obviously, those things are becoming more scrutinized as well. So hopefully that would give him more of an edge too. But everybody loves him, right? Media
He's just
loves
the most,
him.
like, one of the most lovable guys in baseball.
Yeah, the cologne, he's always smelling good. Wherever he's down first base, behind the plate, wherever he's at, he's smelling good too. That might give him extra
I could
bump.
attest at All-Star. I was like, dude, you just caught a couple innings and he was smelling good. So good on Salvi. We'll see. You know, he is on the bubble, but from a good guy standpoint, he checks all the boxes. Yeah, and really all 3 of those. Freddie Freeman, shoo-in, Jacob deGrom, we're still not sure, and Salvi. You have our vote in the hearts and minds of all the fans. All right, coming up next, managerial openings already around the league with more likely to come. So where does Skip Schumacher fit in the mix for next season? Well, X marks the spot after the break. So many fun segments with your name. Okay, kudos to our producer, John O'Malley, for this one. X marks the spot. We had X marks the top for a list, but this one with the the pirate, like the treasure map, that was nice.
I'm always trying to find the hidden treasure.
Very creative. Well, you're going to find some hidden treasures in the answers to these questions. I have 4 very interesting and topical questions for you, including one Skip Schumacher, obviously a free agent at this point in time, but we have some openings.
Yes, we do.
Teams around Major League Baseball. So in your opinion, what team is the best fit for Skip to manage next season?
I'm definitely thinking the Orioles. This is a team that's already ready to win as far as the talent goes. I know there's been a lot of injuries, but I just think of a fresh face coming in, and he's already done such a great job with even a little bit with the Marlins. I look at the time even that he had with the Cardinals as a bench coach. Just he's elevated into this type of role to be ready to win. But I also don't want to discount what he could do with the Pirates too, because it's a staff that could be impressive if they just built around that pitching staff. And think about what he did with the Marlins. They had a good pitching staff, not so great position player core. he could go in there and make some noise in there. So I'm liking how you even brought up his name, because that's the first one off the top of the dome. I'm like, okay, he can fill multiple spots, and teams got to be looking at Skip Schumacher.
Yeah, when I saw the O's position open, Skip was immediately the first name that came to mind. Moving on, your favorite MLB city to visit on a road trip.
Hey, look at me getting the swings. And if you listen on the podcast, your boy is hitting some baseballs all over the field. It's the only highlights that I have, but they found them all.
Hey, there are a lot of them.
No, I think Chicago was one of my favorite spots. It's like it's
North
not
or south
necessarily north side for sure. Even just playing at Wrigley was fun, but I always think about like just being able to go. You have the lake right there too. There's so much to do downtown, like, and so many restaurants. Like your boy likes to eat. So
Is it steakhouse? Are we going steakhouse? Because every time I would go there as well, like whether it was covering hockey or baseball, which both times
definitely
a year was
hitting
so
a good
great.
steak spot
Gotta
at
have a
least one night.
steakhouse.
You know, you can't do it necessarily every night, but you gotta do it at least one night.
It's one of the best sports town in North America.
In the summer too, it's so nice because you get that breeze and a little bit of humidity, but get that breeze out the lake. Oh man, it's
an iconic ballpark there in
yes,
Wrigley
it's like playing in the
Fields.
backyard.
It is, yes. Not if you're a hitter and talking to Anthony Rizzo, who's saying it's a little bit tougher than it sounds with the wind. Okay, best social media follow in baseball right now.
Ooh, Mark
You're big on social.
Mark Hanna. I was just talking about food. Like
No hesitation.
Big league foodie. Just posting all his meals on the road. Like I envy that a little bit, just
I'm
because.
hungry.
Like I'm looking at his meals and I start drooling because I get hungry. But I like the fact that he's found something that he can do that not a lot of people do. Like he's getting to go to all these different cities.
You're right.
Capturing all the different types of meals he's eating, the different restaurants. I think it gives people insight to where big league guys, have an advantage in some of these restaurants.
And
they get
to
to
the
go
earlier question, you have a chance to go to all these cool cities, and you have your mornings and early afternoons available if you choose not to just rest in the hotel room, which I understand it is a marathon, not a sprint with 162. But the fact that he's getting out there and he's sharing it with the people.
Not a lot of guys do that.
You're right. That smash burger
adventure a little
sounds
bit.
really good. Okay, we're talking about some up-and-coming topics here. Skip Schumacher, obviously, you think could be a good fit in Baltimore. How about this news coming from John Heyman from a source with the Pirates that Paul Skenes is not getting traded, quote, no chance, no way, no how, is the way I heard it. While there's a bit of logic to such a scenario, superstars just aren't traded by anyone with 1 year service time, and the Pirates remain determined to build around Skenes. So he's under team control through 2029, so wouldn't be a free agent until 2030. So X marks the spot. So let's just pretend like that doesn't happen. Maybe there is like a scenario in which somebody like brings a package to the Pirates front office.
There's always a scenario.
What is the best
always a
blockbuster
scenario.
trade offer for Paul Skenes?
A team we were just talking about, the Orioles. Right? Like we've talked about
pitching.
these guys having these prospects and not quite doing what we might have expected them to do with them during a time in which you have a window in which you can win. Like I'm thinking about that Juan Soto trade. You got to go up and beyond. Right? I want you to look at some of these names right here. I had to throw Jackson Holiday in there. I'm sorry, Jackson. But I had to throw you in there because, look, you're going to be a premier hitter, and they need some offense. I'm looking at Sam Basayo as well. The catcher behind the plate that can give them an extra backstop to really grow around. But some of these names, they may not even be enough. Kobe Mayo in there too, but it may not even be enough.
Another incredible prospect.
But you gotta get crazy with it. This would have to be almost the start. The start for Paul
Skenes. Back up the prospect truck and to say, here it is.
But also it gives the O's another premier arm to build around with him, Grayson Rodriguez. Like that would be a solid 1-2 punch, those guys being healthy.
Would you listen? Would you really listen if you have a guy that is a generational talent doing what Paul Skenes is doing
you have
on the mound?
to listen.
Even if you're the Pittsburgh Pirates and see, like, Pirates do have some stars, but we know it's going to be an uphill battle.
You might not have to listen at this moment exactly, but if somebody had an offer for you to where they felt like they had enough cojones to come and say, hey, I'm looking at getting Paul Skenes. Like, you got to listen at least. You can't just be like, nah, I'm good.
That's a good point. And
my team is already good. We killing it. No, that's not the case.
You have to, advance the narrative. And if you're Paul Skenes, I'm sure he wouldn't mind donning another uniform and making a push towards the postseason. Would that be enough?
Have you not seen his face after he throws 8 innings when he be sitting in the dugout?
Great. That was fun. Would that be enough, though, to put the O's over the top and really compete in the AL East?
Man, it's tough to say because they're still going to need offense, and some of those guys would provide some serious. Like Jackson Holiday, to me, he's one of those guys that I think hasn't even smelled his surface, hasn't even smelled it. But I think when you think about having one of the top starting pitchers in all Major League Baseball going,
it's going to turn some heads.
You can go one-on-one against anybody. We had this conversation about the WBC. Like Paul Skenes can now go up against anybody, any other nation's number one, and he's going to be able to dominate. So I just think that when you can have that on your own squad, that gives you a leg up on everybody.
Okay, well, according to the Pirates source, no way, no how, but in our world, we're just here to
our
stir
own sources.
The pot. Yeah, we have our sources, which are ourselves, because, this is what we do. We talk on a podcast. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Off Base. Check us out on MLB Network Sundays at 11 a.m., MLB.tv, YouTube TV, and wherever you get your podcast. For Xavier Scruggs, I'm Lauren Gardner. Enjoy your weekend, whatever time of day, whatever time of night you're listening.
Just
enjoy
kick
it. Kick it. Bye.